Hi, today I'm going to teach you how to make the perfect pesto. I know when you think of pesto, you always think red or white sauce, but today I'm going to teach you about the often forgotten but also delicious green sauce, pesto. I made this for my family, and I modified it from a recipe from my favorite culinary magazine, Bon Appetit, and I can teach you how to make a delicious pesto sauce at home with simple ingredients, all for under $30. By looking at the origin of pesto and going step by step, you can make a pesto at home to enjoy on pasta or any number of dishes. According to Olivier and Company, pesto originated in Genoa, the northern region of Italy. The word pesto comes from the Genoese word pesta, which means to pound or crush, which refers to the traditional way it was made with a mortar and pestle whenever it was first originated. Traditionally, it's made with garlic, basil, pine nuts, parmesan, and olive oil. And these are the same ingredients we're going to use in this recipe, just with like a little different forming of it. To make this recipe, you'll need to gather the right ingredients and the right tools to make it. I used a half a cup of pine nuts, 3/4 a cup of grated parmesan, 2 grated garlic cloves, but I used minced because it's easier and it has like that good like juice with it, and I like garlic, so. 6 cups of basil, which is the hardest part. That can be a little pricey, but sometimes you can find like good deals of it in bunches. You'll need 3/4 a cup of extra virgin olive oil and a teaspoon of kosher salt. And the recipe calls for a food processor, but I know not all of us have like a big like restaurant style one, so I just made mine in a blender and it went perfectly. You also need parchment paper and a baking sheet so you can toast your pine nuts. There's the blender, there's the pine nuts. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees and toast the pine nuts for about 8 minutes, tossing halfway through until golden brown. It really releases a lot of flavor and color on them. You transfer the pine nuts into the blender with the parmesan, garlic, and half of the olive oil and grind it up until it's like a good paste. And then you can add your basil in portions, blending until smooth, along with the rest of the olive oil and a teaspoon of salt. Then you can add it to any dish. I made it with that's the pesto, and that's the noodles. I made mine with linguine, which I recommend a long noodle because it just really picks up the sauce really well. I mixed it with 2 tablespoons of butter and a 1/4 cup of pasta water, salted to taste, and you put parmesan on top. I also sauteed broccoli and mushrooms with it, and it was like really good. There are a multitude of other dishes that you can enjoy pesto on. According to spruceeats.com, fresh pasta can be a great brightening agent on more than just pasta. You can have it on bread and toast. You can have it on a spread for sandwiches. It goes great with salads, and even on the base of a pizza instead of a red or white sauce. You can also keep pesto in a fridge for a long time. Just make sure that you mix it up beforehand because the olive oil can separate over time. Staying close to the original Genoan recipe, pesto can be a great addition to a variety of dishes. I hope you try this recipe at home, and I can help answer any questions you might have about the dish. Any questions? Yes?
Where did you get this recipe?
I watched this channel called Bon Appetit. They're like a culinary magazine, but they also make YouTube videos, and I found it, and I was like, this looks awesome, I'm gonna eat this. Yes.
Do you make it a lot?
I've made it a handful of times, and it's always like, people are always really impressed that I like made it at home, and I'm like, it feels impressive, but it literally takes like 6 ingredients, and it's like, it happens in no time. Any more questions? Thank you, that's awesome, thank you guys.